here's another reason why you want to take control of what you're doing.
Everything kind of funnels into the only winning move is not to play the game.
I don't know, guys. This whole thing sounds pre-recorded.
Well, good morning, guys. Here I am having my morning coffee, and this is our new edition of the Weather Report, where we're having Saturday morning coffee chats. And I want to welcome my two guests, John Domingo and the Beard Man, Cody. We're going to talk about AI today. The big, scary, AI out there. The Terminator's coming to get you. Skynet is for real, and all this thing is going to come to a big head, and the whole world's going to explode. But no, we're actually here to calm you down today. We're here to calm you down and make sure that you guys understand that AI is here to stay. We've been using AI for a long time. You just don't know it. And the whole situation with everything else is that it's getting so easy to use now. It's a practical tool that you could use, number one, in your daily life. Number two, whether you're a professional presentation industry professional, or number three, whether you are into arts and sounds and audio and stuff like that. And I've got two other gentlemen here that have worked with AI along with myself a lot. And I just want to welcome them to the show. John, how you doing? Good morning. And Cody, how you doing?
All right. Well, I guess I'll go first. One of the reasons why I started using AI was because it can do the things that I can't do. I use it for podcasting. So I can do the technical part. But when I write show notes, one of my co-hosts told me that I write like a fourth grader. So that's where I started using it. And then as it got to be better and it's doing more for me. And I'm kind of hooked on it now because I don't have, it cuts so much time from what I normally would have to do. It takes what I used to do in 8 hours, I can now do in 3. So, and that's really nice. So that's one of the reasons, that's what I use it for.
Yeah. Cody?
Yeah. Good morning, guys. AI is a lot of fun. I remember when it was first coming out and like the Stable Diffusion and the Dolly type stuff. And people were like, oh, I've got to like put in this submission. I remember asking a guy, I was like, oh yeah, put in a submission for Jay and Silent Bob Meet Darth Vader. And what it spat out was absolute dog shit. Like it was god awful. It was horrible. And fast forward 2.5, 3 years later, and look at what it can do now. So the future is here. It's not coming, it's here. So don't get left behind. I kind of think that's what we're trying to do today, right?
Yeah, that's kind of what we're trying to do. And I started using AI just as just curiosity. I mean, everybody started talking about it. People in our chat, in the Discord chat where we go to, starts talking about it. The industry that I belong to started using it in a lot of programs. Word, Microsoft 360 came out. It's got Copilot now, AutoCAD, which what I use for my professional 9 to 5, is coming out with an AI version, to enable to help me do my job faster, which I was already doing anyway. I was already developing tools to make my job faster, but AI was just something that was kind of scary to me to begin with. But then once I understood that we have been using AI forever, I mean, we really have. I mean, things that I mean, Google, it was attached to AI. It was the beginning of AI. It would go out there, you would ask it a question, it would go out, grab a bunch of websites and bring them back to you. That's a form of AI. Doctors have been using AI forever, with databases and stuff that they would ask the computer a question, the computer would go out with the query and bring back all the information that it needed to. Now it's not as sophisticated. It wasn't as sophisticated as it is now. And AI is starting to train itself and getting better and better and better. But I use it for practical stuff right now. You'll hear from Cody over there, Beardman. there's specific prompts and stuff that you need to make sure that you're getting the correct information. John uses it for production stuff for his podcast and things like that. So it's really it's really coming into its age. And if not to say, you can notice that Cody over there is a lot younger than me and John. I mean, me and John are around the same ages, and for us olds, I'm going to say for us olds, I think that we need to use AI. We need to utilize AI. I think we need to get away from the scariness of AI, because it's not going to come attack us. And for people like Cody, if you don't use AI, you're going to get left behind in your industry. And I'll go to Cody with that. Cody, I think you very much know that if you're not AI, you're going to lose it.
Yeah. Honestly, for careers, like I'm not saying you need to go learn how to code Python. All right. I'm not saying you need to go switch tracks and try to become some kind of software engineer. You already have skills that you've developed for your current career. AI can help you either regain time or help you with certain tasks. I mean, you need to learn how to put AI into what you're doing, the best use cases for it, so that way you can become more efficient in your job. And so you don't get left behind, because these AI skills, the basic entry point skills for using these tools and being productive with them, it's going to become a job requirement sooner than you think.
Yeah. Before it used to say, learn to code. Well, you don't have to learn to code anymore. It codes. Now what you have to learn how to do, you have to be a prompt engineer. So that's it. This is where the rubber hits the road with AI, is you got to learn how to prompt.
Yeah.
And once you start to learn how to prompt it, that's when everything opens up. Because like Bruce says, we're old, we're boomers. And so we're like, oh, we don't need this kind of technology until you learn how to use it. And then once you start to learn how to use it, you're like, man, I don't ever want this to go away. So
right.
That's what's going on right now. The hardest part right now is which to pay for and which not to pay for. How much do you need?
Well, in my situation now, I use it professionally for for this podcast. I use it for the Road Rage 101, which is our morning show. I also use it for a whole bunch of personal uses, but I started using it for personal use, and I bought Chat GTP, which is about $20 a month, and as a tool for my podcasting. But I use it for personal use, probably more than I use it for my podcasting. But I just wanted. Really, what us olds need to use it for is just general information. It's really for the olds like us who are really afraid of AI. And I'll bring up a situation here. Like I can bring up Google right now. We'll type in, let's see, how do you make a cup of coffee? Okay, so I'll write that in, and I'm going to share my screen here in a second here. So just give me just a second here, and let's see here. So let me add the stage. Okay, so I asked it, how do you make a cup of coffee? Well, you can see here that it'll bring up an AI overview, and if you scroll down, it'll bring up a bunch of videos and stuff like that. And then you also have on the side here now with your Google AI mode, and you can go to AI mode. And then you can actually have a conversation with this thing, with this AI chatbot. Okay, so you're now in the realm of AI, but you have always been in the realm of AI. I'm gonna leave it alone here. I'm gonna take this off. Let's see here. Dang it. There we go. You've always been in the realm of AI, because Google has always been going that way, and all these other search engines has always been going that way. Now what they're doing is they're compiling and explaining to you and actually teaching you how to make a cup of coffee. And go ahead.
So now you did that, right? That's how an old does it.
That's how an old does it.
All right. So what I would like you to do is share my screen.
Okay.
Because I didn't think I was going to do this, but here we go. So then my prompt was, get rid of this. As a barista, describe how to make a great cup of coffee. All right. I just didn't say how to make. So now all of a sudden it says use freshly roast beans, 7 to 21 days of roast. Stale beans will kill the flavor before you start. Grind immediately before brewing. Pre-ground coffee is already oxidized. Match the grind size to the method. Coarse, French press, medium, drip, fine, espresso. So it goes through the whole thing. Now, what's see the difference between my prompt and your prompt?
Yes, exactly.
Yep. So John's
there
touching
it
on
is.
a very important thing here. You know, we call it RTC, role, tasks, constraints. Okay, like if you're just talking to it like a normal person, you're going to get out normal person answers.
Yes.
If you want like, it doesn't know exactly what you want, right? It's not exactly like talking to your friend. So if you give it a role, you give it a task, and if necessary, you give it constraints like, I don't want this, or please present it in a table format, you're going to get much better results than if you just ask it, how do I make a cup of coffee?
Right. Okay. But to reel that back in, the reason why I brought it up that way is because
Oh,
that's the
no,
way
yeah.
most people begin to use AI, and not to say that it's the wrong way, because it's not the wrong way, because that's what people have done forever with Google. So they get confused between, you know, searching on Google and actually using AI when they know that when in reality they've been using AI, and Google has been working on this for a long time. Now, Google's not the only company that has been out there fooling around with AI. There's all kinds of chatbots. We got ChatGTP, we got Claude, we have Anthropic, we have, well, which are one of the same. We have a Grok, which is the X version. We have there's so many AIs out there. Alexa forever.
Siri.
Alexa
Siri is the same thing.
forever.
Oh, no,
And
just
we
my
just
mine just went off.
no, we just had
I know you didn't. All right, stop.
we just had in right around the corner from me, from my job, my 9 to 5 job, we just had the largest AI conference in the world that NVIDIA had put on, and it was impressive, you know, with the amount of people that were there. And there's millions of, I mean, millions of companies out there that are doing these large language models, and that's exactly what they are, and they're going to be tailored for specific needs. I mean, not one AI is going to know everything about everything. I mean, we can go to ChatGTP, we can go to Gemini. Is that correct? If I would say that right, for Google.
Yeah, Gemini's Google's LLM.
You know, the large language model for them is only limited by how much information is fed to them, just like a normal computer. They're still as stupid as hell, because the computer only knows what the computer has in it, and it can only bring back what it has to give you. Those large language models are going to expand over time, and you know, everybody's worried about it becoming, you know, Skynet, becoming the Terminator, becoming, you know, these robots and stuff like that. Well, I tend to see it the other way around. I tend to see it as being our for lack of a better word, our assistants, you know, our you know, I don't want to call it what I think it's going to be, but our assistants for forever. And I think it's going to be something that's going to be around for a long time, and going to help a lot of people.
Oh, I think you have to be careful with it. First of all, you know, you can feed it too much, and then it can do too much, because it really doesn't know. Okay, it's like a teenager right now.
Yes.
It knows enough to be dangerous. So that's where you have to, you know, I would give it as much permission as I would give a 14-year-old. All right. Because like some people go in and give it its passwords and everything, and let it buy stuff from Amazon for you and all, and they're doing that stuff already. And I'm like, whoa.
So I guess there's another nice little anagram to use. It's called ACT. So basically, ask yourself, is AI right for this job? Is my data clean? So you don't want to put your passwords, your company's trade secrets, personal identification into a public AI. Are you following the rules? Like if your company says you can't use AI, you probably shouldn't be using an outside AI. C stands for check before you use. So you need to audit the AI's accuracy in what it told you, make sure it's not giving you bias, make sure it's in a proper tone and appropriateness. And then finally tell people, you know, disclose early the fact that you actually used AI to either help generate something or what have you, which everyone here does a great job of the disclosure part. And I don't think anyone here is giving it their bank details, but it's also important to point out that AI hallucinates. And what that means is it'll make stuff up to you, and it'll sound really convincing, right? Like lawyers have gotten in trouble for asking it for precedent or case law on something, and it made up case law, and they took it to court, and they got in a lot of fucking trouble. I will. This is a shocking metric to me. Industry standard for release of a product to general public is 80% groundedness. That means it hallucinates 20% of the time. Okay, so keep that in mind when you're using the vast majority of AI. That you need to verify what it said.
Yeah.
Maybe it tells you to make a cup of coffee, but it's actually told you how to make tea, right?
Yeah.
So,
Well, the other thing is too, remember, it's just like any other assistant, your name is on it. So in other words, when you're putting it out, you're putting your reputation and your name behind it. So that's
bingo.
one way to look at it too.
Right.
The thing
Right.
that I always use it for things that I don't have time to do. So in other words, summarize this news article, get this, write this in a tone, in a professional tone, or here's an email that just came in, give me a response. Then you got to read. I've never had an AI response where I just clicked send. I always went in and say, no, I'm taking this line out. Or even when it does stories, I take the summary of the story and then I kind of write it out the way that I want to use it. I don't just start plugging it in and letting it go.
For instance, you tell AI, hey, I've written this response to an email. Please make it sound cordial and professional. And it opens it up with, I hope this message finds you well. And it's like, motherfucker, no one, I especially ain't sending that out, regardless of how cordial I'm fucking being. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well,
So yeah,
apparently,
great point.
yeah, I text and write mean. So in other words, whenever I write something, it seems that, it's very cold. And then so I get in trouble with it because they're like, oh, well, you said this. I'm like, that's not how I said it. I said
That's
it
not
like
how I
this. And
said
they go,
it.
well, that's not how it sounded. I don't know. It doesn't sound like anything. It's words. So sometimes I ask AI to soften the message. Write it like a chick.
Yeah.
It
Right.
it can truly be cathartic, though, if you really want to send that angry message and then give that to AI, like full of cursing and just name calling, and you're like, make this sound nicer. And it's like, whoa, you were really upset. Let's fix the entire message here. I will do what you want. Thanks. It can be cathartic. It's like venting. It's like you got to say the message and then you know what you meant. AI just clarified it a little bit for it.
I'll tell you one thing that, so I also don't like typing. So one of the things I love about Claude and now Perplexity and ChatGPT is now you can talk to it. And I much rather talk to it than try to type in, because to me, it's easier for me to prompt with a voice than it is to try to type it all out. And
Yes.
the other thing is, then I ask it, I said, hey, take and make this prompt better. And then one of the things that I did that really helped me was I said to it, I said, hey, I'm not really good at prompting. Teach me how to prompt. And it started teaching me how to prompt. So it'll tell you, it'll teach you how to use it.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unlike a
George.
woman.
Yeah, George is in the chat right now, and the chat room is open. If you guys are over there in YouTube and you guys are watching, go ahead and ask us questions, because we'll try to answer the questions as best as possible. The danger of taking all information as a fact, so humans need to still verify the information. And Cody brought this up, and basically it's the same thing. I mean, so we are consumers of information now. I mean, we're in the information age. Our attention spans are so small. It's just incredible. But we still, you can see that even on our social medias, we all call bullshit on everything. So if you're going to use these tools, use them the same way you use social media, in that same way. Verify it.
So
Verify
we actually have a term for it. It's called human in the loop, right? And like, I mean, there are agentic AIs that are coming out now, right? Like you've got like Open Claude. I mean, hell, even Google, you could make some agentic AI things now, but those are like toddlers at this point, right? Like they can barely crawl, right? Like, I mean, it's getting better all the time, but no, we call that human in the loop. And especially with something where there's any kind of liability, if you don't have a human verifying that information, then you deserve the liability you're getting.
Well, the one thing
right.
so the other thing about AI is it's changing so fast. And right now, what I think it does miss is it doesn't remember anything. And so for the one thing that I wanted to do, I wanted to remember what I used before, and now it's starting to happen with Perplexity. They just started out with Perplexity Computer, and then Claude. Now Claude has Cowork. When Cowork only works on the Mac, and I think it works on a Mac, and I think it also works as in a browser. And Cowork, you can give it parameters, and then you can keep using it. In other words, if for my episodes, that it's just one long string. I'm like, okay, now we're on episode 402, and we're starting, and I need these stories researched. And then once the stories are researched, then I go in and I go, okay, after we get done, I get the audio transcribed. I put the transcript in. I go, here's the transcript, and now here's the prompt for my show notes, my social media, my YouTube description, my Rumble description, my Facebook description, and give me 5 tweets. I still call them tweets. I'll never call them whatever you're supposed to do with X. And then it puts it out there, and then I go over it and say, okay, well, I'm going to take this out and do that, and it'll also put in all your social media, your website, your social media handles, and all that stuff. Your not your cell phone number. It won't put your cell phone number in there, but your voicemail number and all that. It'll put it in there, and then you just copy and paste it to wherever you need it to go. And to me, that saves hours of time, and it does it better for me.
I know with Gemini, they call it personalization. And essentially what it does is it allows it to go back and look at different chats that you've had with it. Or if you go into settings and actually hard code in some like rules for it, you can do that as well. The general issue is, though, it's based upon context window tokens. And so let's say if you stay in the same chat with a free tier version of any of these LLMs, you're going to start noticing severe deterioration in the outputs that you're getting, because it can't keep up with the context anymore. So it'll read like a third of your past chats instead of the whole thing now, and then go, I guess this is what he wanted. Now, I'm not 100% sure how Copilot works. It sounds like that context window is not an issue there at all with the tokens. So that's really cool. I haven't worked with Copilot.
You bring up something that'll probably scare the olds right away. So go ahead and tell us what a token is and what a token does when they're using a free version of anything.
So a token is basically, it's exactly what it sounds like. Like, imagine you're going up to a slot machine at the casino and you got to put in a token to play. But the problem is that characters count as tokens, because each of those characters, like if you type in "make me coffee," that's not what the AI gets. The AI part of it is it literally takes each of those letters, breaks it down into a string of code, and gives it to it that way, and that's how it reads it. So,
so how many tokens do you get for? Because I pay for I pay for Claude, and I also pay for ChatGPT. So I don't really have this. I've never even got close to the limit. But so for a free version, how many tokens do you get?
It's a great question. I'm not sure. I could look that up real quick. Like, I know that I get, yeah. Okay. That's an even better point. All right. I'll ask Gemini right now. How many tokens does a free tier user get with you?
Per month. It's per month. And a lot of this stuff you can use for free. But to be honest with you, I look at it this way, $20 a month. That's like a cup of coffee, a week.
A week.
It's nothing.
So free user context window is generally 32,000 tokens, which is roughly 2,400 words or 50 to 60 pages of text. Words. Sorry, 24,000. You're right. Yep. Okay. So you get about 30 prompts per day on the free usage on average, roughly. So I use it way more often than that.
Ask it if the tokens roll over. Like, in other words, if I don't use how many tokens does it roll over the next day? Do I get to keep them, or do I? Yeah, you know what I'm trying to say. Prompt it.
Yep, absolutely. Tokens do not roll over. Whether you are using the Gemini app, you're on the API, your token limits are use it or lose it based on the fixed cycles.
See, get in there and start prompting.
Well,
don't give them back.
use
Don't
it,
give
use
him
it all the
back.
day.
Yeah, you olds, you know how you don't like to give anything back. Get in there and prompt.
Now, what I like to do also is some of the practical stuff that can happen around your house is like, let's say that you are you're hungry and you don't know what the hell to make out of all these leftovers that you have in your refrigerator. So you can tell it, you go like, you call it here. If you look at the screen right now, you go, I'm hungry. Okay. This is just a regular chat that I would do every day.
No. We're going to teach you something here. As a
Okay.
chef, first thing,
Okay.
as a chef.
Here we go. He's going. As a chef, here we go. Go ahead.
I'm hungry.
I'm hungry. Here we go.
And I want to make.
I want to
And then you
make.
fill in the blank.
I want to make something. I want to make a meal. You got to be kind of direct with them. Out of leftovers. Here are my leftovers, and I'll put a list of leftovers. Say onion, rice, and chicken wings. And let's see what it does. Here we go.
There you go.
There you go. A chicken and rice skillet. It brought up something that might or might not be appealing to you, but it will give you an answer and give you several alternatives. It gave you a leftover chicken rice skillet, a porridge, and stuffed wings. So
Stuffed
there
wings.
you go. Stuffed wings. Yeah, exactly.
Stick your onions in your rice and stuff in the wings there, genius.
What the fuck is stuff? Ask it what the fuck stuffed wings are, Bruce.
What is a stuffed wing? and it could be fun also. I mean, you can have fun with it also.
So Bruce, interestingly enough, I actually just dropped into the StreamYard chat. If you want to open that up and ask it the exact same fucking question.
And who's that?
It's an app that I made powered by AI that's called the Tiebreaker.
Okay.
And now, Bruce, aside from what you just got, you get to choose what kind of analysis you want. Do you want a pros and cons analysis? Do you want a SWOT analysis? Do you want a Six Sigma lean analysis? Do you want a comparison table? Do you want an infographic based off of one of those analyses? Or would you prefer an entire master report comprised of all of the analysis?
All right. So what I did, since we brought up mine, I said, as a chef, where is it? Damn it. That's the coffee one. Where did I put it? I said, as a chef, how do I make beef stew in a crock pot? And there it goes, man. It goes right through, tells you everything, how to thicken it and all that other stuff. So, I mean, and don't get me wrong, I do use this a lot, especially if I'm planning meals and stuff like that. I tell it I am on a low carb, so many calorie diet, and I want to make breakfast. And what's the best way to make breakfast? And it spits out like 3 or 4 different recipes to make and how to make it. So and then I also tell it if I want to make it in a crock pot, I want to make it in an air fryer, or where I want to make it. So it does a lot of. I forget how much I use this. I just don't use it for my for my podcast. I use it for a lot of different things that I don't know how to do, and it has helped me to become a better chefing. I'm better chefing than I was before.
One of my favorite features about the live chat, like we were talking about a little while ago, is you can role play with it. And I don't mean a sexual role play. I mean, I used it about 4 times last week to prepare for a proposal I gave yesterday. And I said, hey, act as this kind of a stakeholder. I'm going to go through my slide presentation like I'm going to go through the proposal. In the middle of it, or at the end, whenever you feel appropriate, ask me questions as if you were this stakeholder. So that way I'm prepared for questions that come at me in real time, right? And I mean, it really helped me get ready for it. There's so many different ways that you can use just these basic LLM models now, and it's really neat. But
And the
Bruce,
most-
you really should check that out that I gave to you.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now, actually. So
I tried
opened
using
up.
it on the podcast as as the voice, bring it up as a voice. But what happens is if anybody else talks when you're talking, or
Yeah.
why it's trying to answer and it says something like my co-host likes to talk under me and under my
No,
chat
she
bot,
doesn't. No.
it will also it stops it, so I can't really use it. So that's one of the things
Yeah.
I have a problem with. But I mean, even it's great for fact checking while you're doing a show. Especially if you're doing a solo show, it's very easy to ask it.
Yeah,
have
John,
it.
you brought up a very important point when you were telling the chat GTP exactly that what you were and how you had to cook, and George brought up a good point, and I'm going to put it up again. You need to verify all the information. So when you're doing that, and you're looking for recipes because you're either diabetic or whatever, you're sensitive to other things, always freaking verify. Always verify that the information is accurate, because what it'll do is it'll go out to other sites and pull that information, double check things for you, and then I would do it at least twice. Sometimes, and you have to be mindful that it's probably spitting you out good stuff.
I'll tell you what it's good for when you're old is
Yeah.
so like I want some medications. I want a blood pressure medication and a blood thinner and stuff like that. And then so I want to take a supplement. So then I go, hey, it knows what medications I'm on, and I go, hey, use my medical information, and then I want to take this supplement. Can I take it? Will there be any interactions? And it'll tell me yes or no. When I was in the hospital thinking I was having a heart attack and they were doing all this, they were taking blood tests and I was getting a blood test back, I would feed it into Chat GPT and say, tell me what does this, as a cardiologist, what does this mean? And it would tell me. Now, I didn't use that, but what it did was it gave me questions to ask my actual cardiologist.
Mhm.
So I knew, or if my cardiologist told me something that I didn't understand it, I would feed it into Chat GPT and say, explain this to me like I'm 5. And then explain in basic terms, explain this to me, not like, and then it would do it. So that is one of the great things. I would get my test back before the doctor would get them. I'd feed it in there and it would tell me. So when he came in, I had questions, and I love that. It was amazing.
And basically, that's what I'm talking about when you're using and you're beginning to use these free chat bots. Is that there's no problem in actually using it as just a conversation piece. I mean, you can just type into it what you say. You don't need to do as much as we're doing now as a podcaster, as a chef, as a whatever. You can go in and you can use it innocuously, just like you're having a conversation with somebody. It'll bring up decent information for you. Like I said, verify it. But for the regular everyday user, yeah, you can do that. Now, what we're going to do now is we're actually going to go into a more technical part, which we've already started talking about, and it's in how to prompt, how to maximize the prompts that you have. Because out there, what we have is what you're going to find out later and later as AI keeps developing, is you're going to be able to go to other sites that are specific to the information that you need. Say you need information on drugs, say you need information on cooking, say you need information on automobiles or mechanics and stuff like that. They're going to have large language models that actually handle those types of situations. And you go to that language model, you ask it a question. You don't need to know how to prompt. You just ask it a question. It's going to spit out an answer for you. But until that happens with all these sites, a lot of people need to know how to prompt. And John and Cody here have gone a lot farther than I have in learning how to prompt. So I'm going to let them have the show and go forward. So either one of you can start talking and we can go forward with that.
Go ahead, John.
All right, so I'm going to pull this up. I don't know so what I use, I don't know if anybody uses, I use Text Expander. Text Expander is a thing where if you write things all the time, you can just go in and make a word or, so what I did was I have this one, which is, what is the label on this one? Oh, this is hashtag article prompt. So how do I put this in here? How do I present this? All right, I'm just going to put this in here.
You want to share your screen again or something like that?
Yeah, share my screen if you can.
Okay, well, I'm going to take your one screen off here. So.
No, that's the one. That's the one. You
Oh,
share
that's
that
one. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Got
'cause
you.
I just got
Okay,
it
there
here.
we go.
All right. So at the bottom here, it's going to be under the. So I just put this in. So when I type in hashtag article prompt, which says, as a witty boomer copywriter for a podcast, when I give you a URL, it says fetch the article. If it's paywalled or inaccessible, tell me immediately rather than guessing. Generate a punchy episode title, one line under 10 words. That's clever or provocative, not clickbait, but close. Write an intro, two to four sentences in a late night host tone. Set up a topic, land a joke, and then end with a hook that makes the listener want to keep listening. Avoid today. We're talking about openers. Then format it in a teleprompter form. Put it in a way I would speak to other humans. Key facts, bullet points only. Rules: one fact per bullet, one sentence max. Stick to what's in the article. No editorializing. Lead with the most surprising or counterintuitive facts. First, include any notable numbers, names, quotes. Keep quotes in under 10 words. The hot take, one or two sentences, your sharpest, most opinionated reaction piece. Be bold, outro tease, one sentence, snarky sign off that leaves listeners wanting more and nodding in recognition. That's the prompt. I just type in, article prompt, then I give it the URL code, and then it kicks it out. Now, if you want to try that, you can take that off. Take that off the screen here. Okay, take it off the screen. I can just go grab an article real quick and throw one in there.
Okay.
So I'll just put news and see what happens.
While John's pulling up his article, it's important to point out that prompt went over the role, the task, it went over the audience, and it went over constraints. So it's a pretty strong prompt.
All right. So I just went to Google News. Now I'm going to throw this in here.
Okay.
And I'll hit it and see what it does. Now, it does sometimes take a little time to think it. And
Yeah, sometimes
and spit
it will.
out.
Yeah, it's got to think.
So there we go. So I just used the BBC feed. What's that?
Did you read what it said?
The source page is a live feed which dynamically uploaded and is not retrievable in static form, cannot be.
So now this is great though, because it's important to understand that one, not only can AI make mistakes, you can give it something that it can actually do. And you shouldn't just bang your head against the wall, see what it says, try again. It's only going to make you better at doing this and understanding what it needs from you.
Okay. So then, so since we're do that, I'm just going to put this one in and see if it does it.
There we go.
There it is. Now it's just populating. There it goes. And that's, how long did that take?
That took less than 5 seconds. Less than 5 seconds once you gave it the link, less than 5 seconds to generate exactly what you wanted. Now you proofread it, you make sure it did it exactly the way you wanted it to, right? But I mean, on a glancing, it looks like it followed your task.
And what's important there, and I want to point out something that's important there, because a lot of people, us podcasters, to say when we post this stuff on our social medias, if we claim to post them, they're always asking, where did you get all this information from? You can notice that on the key facts, on every single one of those key facts that we got sources.
Right.
They got sources that we
I can
pull
click
from.
that, and there's all my sources.
And there's all your sources right there. And even though people can go back and go like, oh, those sources suck, you still have sources that you can link back to, and which is unrefutable. They're just unrefutable. And that's what makes it a powerful tool, is that now you can go and you can report stuff on your podcast, on whatever you're talking about, and say, hey, I got sources. These are not things that I made up out of the blue. And it's one of the things that I use extensively as something when I'm trying to do talking points with people, and so it's really helpful there.
I'm just
if you want to pop over to my screen, my shared screen.
Let's go. There we go.
So this is a tool that I use. All right, I didn't make it. It's powered by a company called Agentic Workers. But essentially, this is a free tool that will score your prompt against 15 different metrics. clarity and specificity, context and background provided, explicit task definition, desired output, format, style, instruction placement and structure, use of role or a persona if applicable, examples or demonstrations. It's a few shot prompt. Essentially what that means is literally in the prompt, you give it an example of user input and the expected output you want from it. Step-by-step or chain of thought guidance. Actually, we now prefer like the chain of COVE, chain of verification. And then avoiding common pitfalls, negative triggers, iteration and refinement potential, model and scenario fit, length and brevity versus detail, clear audience specification, structured and numbered instructions, and then realism and constraints and feasibility. It's a score out of 75. The highest score I've gotten on something, and it's for one of my projects with work, but it's 73 out of 75. The only two things that I didn't get was on length and brevity. It said you can make this a little shorter, and on the realism and feasibility, it said I don't know if an LLM can do that in a 120-second time frame, and I was like, it can do it in a 10-second time frame. You don't know what you're talking about. So
you tell the AI what it can and can't do.
Yeah. So I mean, you also see here it says 100 characters minimum. So like you can't just put in teach me how to Dougie. It's not going to give you a prompt off of that, right? So I mean,
Right.
you have to write something out. But I don't know what's something that I should. What's a prompt you'd like me to score? We'll just like do something really basic and generic so I can show people what this does.
Can you give it a prompt on how to create an image with a certain type of theme, like a Mad Magazine theme that's comical and serious at the same time? Yeah, something along that lines. And mind you, these are more advanced to the audience. These are more advanced things that we use AI for, basically to make you a better prompter and to make you more efficient at doing whatever the task is that you want it to do. So there's some background information that you need to give your AI so that you can get the appropriate response back to it. And the better that you become a prompter is the better and more reliable information it's going to spit out.
So while he's writing that in there, George has a comment. It says, can you submit an audio file or video file into any AI tools and have it analyze the file and help you write an episode title and description? So
go ahead,
what you
John,
can
if you want to
do,
answer that.
So most of them won't take an audio file. There's two things you can do. You can have your audio file transcribed, and they'll take the transcription, or some of them, the ones like Claude, will take if you live stream it to YouTube, you can take the YouTube URL and put that in there, and then it will go through and give you everything you prompted for from the information from there. The ones that will take an audio file are Notebook LM from Google. Then they'll take the transcript, the YouTube video, and an audio file, but ChatGPT and Claude will only take a transcript. So
okay, so what we call that is multimodal. And essentially a multimodal model is something that can take multiple formats, whether it be a picture, a scanned PDF, right? Like audio format, a video, whatever. And it can take that and synthesize that down for you. John did mention Notebook LM. Gemini is completely multimodal. You can give it audio, you can give it video, it doesn't matter. It will take and do what you want with it. So yeah, we call that multimodal. So any that you're looking into, it was George that asked that, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so any that you're looking into, George, definitely look at the multimodal capability of that particular LLM, and that will give you your answer. But I will definitely show you how to use Notebook LM here in a little bit.
Oh, he loves Notebook LM.
Yes, he does.
Notebook LM, guys, I'll teach you how to use it the right way, and you'll love it too. So this got a 34 out of 75. It's short, it's shitty, all right? But I mean, this is what's really cool. The detailed breakdown, it tells you why it's shitty, right? It's telling you how you could do it better. And then if you really want to be lazy, you can click that. I don't like doing that though, because like it doesn't get you any better at what you're doing. All right.
Right. It doesn't make you learn. It doesn't. Yeah, giving you the answers doesn't make you learn. We proved that over decades and decades with the Department of Education. We can get onto that in a different show. But
see, now
but I'll teach all of you how to be lazy. That's part of my goal too. I'm going to give you a cool gym.
One thing that I can learn.
You can pull my screen off.
One thing that I learned is that if I sit there and enhance it, I'm like, oh, okay, that's how they're doing it.
Oh, okay.
So then that way I can go back and use that at another time. So that was one of the ways that I did learn how to. I said, I would do a prompt and it would do it. I'm like, I'm not getting what I want. Please take this prompt and show me, make it better.
But
this is what I need, and it did.
But you asked it. But you asked it.
Great. Yeah, you have to ask it. Yes.
Yeah. I think
that's one of the ways that I use it for all my episode art now. I have a picture of me and I have a picture of the Duchess, and I throw those two pictures in there and I say, okay, put us in the Artemis space capsule. All right, have us flying fighter jets over Iraq. Have us, in ice uniforms in Minnesota in front of a red minivan with a lesbian wearing a hat, with a ball on top.
I have what is called a gym. And essentially what that is it's a very specified assistant built on Gemini. And it does exactly what you're talking about. But instead of me having to re-put in that prompt, re-put in pictures of anything, I literally give it the topic of the episode and some items that may be from that specific universe, and it pops out exactly what I want. I can show you that if you want.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, go ahead and you can show us, and we'll add it to the screen. But while we're waiting there, yeah, John, the whole thing is that I can appreciate the fact that we can go ahead and hit that enhance, and it could show you. But I find myself be able to, and I've learned a lot more about prompting by just go asking, okay, well, how can I do this better? Instead of actually, just hitting the enhance button and have it maybe spit out some innocuous information that's not correct. I mean, I'm not saying that it would, I'm saying it could, but I think that the more conversational that you can be with AI, I think the better output that you're going to get in the end run. So, and I don't know if that agrees with Cody or you.
So there's other AIs out there that you will use a multiple chat bots, or like, in other words, you can go to one's called Magi, and Magi will use Nano Banano for images. It'll use Claude for copywriting. It'll use ChatGPT for something else. It'll use Sonnet for something else. It goes to different ones, which is kind of, but they're pricey, and they also have tokens. I remember one time I used Magi. You get 100,000 tokens. Well, by the time I could get it to, I tried to get it to make an image, and I burnt through 75,000 tokens. And I still don't have the right image, and I'm like, no. So before you get your prompting down, before you go over there and do that.
Exactly. It will be like a slot machine. You can feed it and still not get anything back. You won't get the jackpot until you put the right amount of money into it.
So Perplexity is one of those, I kind of want to call it more of a platform or a housing unit than an AI. And what I mean by that is exactly what John just said. Like, you're paying like one price to get access to all kinds of different models. So that might interest a lot of people too.
Yep.
Doing it that way.
So
do you have my screen up or not?
I don't. Let me get your screen up here. Hold on.
So George, that's going to start a fist fight if you ask which one do you think is which one's the best. It's almost like asking a podcaster which is the best microphone. So right now, I got to be honest with you. I'm loving Perplexity Pro because it just came out with computer, and you can basically put all your information. You can throw your website, your podcast website in there. You can throw your YouTube channel URL in there, and it learns about your podcast, and then it will write in the style of your podcast. And then you can, for every episode, you can just keep going, and it has a memory. Now, I have the Pro, and I got a year free Pro because something I did with Venmo, and it says, hey, since you're a Venmo, you can have a year of Perplexity. And I said, I'll take
Cool.
that. So I get it a year free right now. But I also pay for Claude, and I also pay for ChatGPT. I use ChatGPT for images, and I was using Claude for all my podcasting stuff, research and all, but I might be going to Perplexity now because it's doing a pretty good job. So I know that's one of the things. It's Cody.
So,
what do you think's the best one, Cody?
Well, I
What do you
mean,
think?
I like Google Suite, what they
See.
offer, honestly. I mean, like Notebook LM to me is one of the greatest tools out there if you use it properly.
Yeah.
And I've stopped fucking with ChatGPT months and months and months ago. So I don't know. I'm sure that they have things you can make that are similar to Gems. I don't know if Grok does or not.
And George,
I'm
I
sure
gotta tell you,
Claude does.
The one of the best things when we do the Boomer Bunker live, these maniacs are in there prompting images as we go. And
Yeah.
I keep forgetting to put the channel up because sometimes I'll bring them in because they're so fast at it, and they're amazing. And it really does add to the show. It doesn't add to the audio podcast, but boy, does it really add some stuff to the video.
I have a
Sure.
ChatGPT prompt that's specifically for your show that I can get in there and start generating stuff as you go through your topics, and it is funny. It's fantastic. I love it.
We
But do you
did one
see?
where
do you see-
I'm sorry, go ahead, Cody. I didn't mean to
I was just gonna say, do you see how easy this is with the gym? Like, I don't have to tell it what I want as far as the output. I just give it what I want in the output. It knows everything else because this gym, it's designed to have this base logo in there.
Mhm.
And then I've told it rules for how to put things in. And I mean, yeah, see, look, Bruce Wolfenstein, BJ Blazkowicz, there's some
There you go.
Nazis. See, like, I mean, I'm not super thrilled with that one. I'd prompt it a little bit more and get a few iterations out of it to see one that I like more. But yeah, like, it's really simple. And I mean, these are all gyms that I've made, right? Like, this one will make a caricature of somebody. This one makes those Hope parody posters that I like to do. This one will cartoonify you. This one will make a professional headshot. This one will generate markdowns, right? So like, you can make so many gyms. It's really neat what you can do. And I'm gonna walk through people how to make a gym.
So George is asking which one costs, which one is the best. I would say the best one would be the one that you use. And again, you can switch. You can try Perplexity for a month, and if that you don't like that, cancel that one. Go to
I would
Gemini or use the free ones and then
try
see how
them.
you like it.
Tried all different ones for free.
Yeah,
See
right
what
now
you
you're-
can get out of it.
Yeah, right
And-
now you're in the Walmart of AI right now. I mean, you can go in and you can try anyone that you want, anyone that you hear of, and go just try it out. Like right now, I pay for ChatGPT. Am I going to graduate to something more? I don't know. We'll see. Right now, I get frustrated with ChatGPT. Sometimes I go to John and I go like, I can't believe that I'm freaking arguing with my AI bot. It's just like, why am I doing this? I'm fucking crazy. But no. But there are better stuff out there, and Cody has you got me over to the what is that, the notepad, the
Notebook
LM.
LM.
So I
Well,
might even graduate into that, but I'm like John, like I need to have that kind of variation where I can do imaging at the same time as I'm doing prompting for show notes and stuff like that. And also with the simple stuff like, I've got something in my refrigerator, what can I make out of that? That's easy. That's Gemini stuff. That's ChatGPT stuff. I mean, it's very simple stuff, but as you get more want to be able to use this tool to the best of your ability, you need to find one that's going to be right up your alley. So I would say go ahead and go out there and shop them all.
So Cody, you're in Notebook LM, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And all right, so now here's my question to you. So are you paying for this here, or are you paying for Gemini? And does Gemini include this?
So everyone can access Notebook LM on the base model. I do pay for the pro tier of Gemini, which is $20 a month.
Okay.
The other tier is called the Ultra tier, and that's $250 a month.
Yeah, that's insane. Who's going to pay for that?
Well, it comes with a lot of cool stuff. I was looking into it. Like, it comes with like YouTube Premium, but I don't care about YouTube Premium. But it also like removes watermarks off of everything, which is to me
$250 a month.
Yeah, it's too
better
expensive.
Come with a sex bot.
Yeah, I agree. But so what's, in my opinion, what makes Notebook LM so interesting and so practical to use is you get to put in its sources. I put all these sources in, and
I do like that.
This is literally for prompting, right? So you over here on the right hand side, you have the studio suite of all of these different things you can do. And literally, if it has this button, that means you can customize it, which is really neat. But I mean, I've shared this. I've put it both in the chat. I've shared it with people in the Discord. I don't think very many people have looked at it yet, but this is set up.
I'll tell you why. Because it's too much. You've got to, you got to leave breadcrumbs. You just can't jam this thing in our ass.
That's the thing, though. When you open this up, this chat window.
I looked at that thing. I said, I don't know what the hell this is, and I immediately closed it. I'm going
to teach you how to use it right now. I'm going to teach you how to use it right now. So you open up this notebook that I've shared.
Let's go to school.
This chat window is blank. Like, this is user to user, right?
Look, do this. Do me a favor.
I'm going to create a new one. I'm going to.
Good.
Okay, so let's do that. Let's just start with that. So create a new notebook.
There we go.
So here we go. So this is blank. So this addresses George's point. So as you can see, multimodal. I can put in website resources directly to YouTube videos, upload files, use the drive, copy text. You can even search the web to pull sources in if you want to do that. But so I'm going to upload some files here. And the files that I need to upload.
Okay. So while he's doing that, when he sent me this notebook the first time, scared the hell out of me.
Yeah.
I looked at him like, holy fuck! What? Oh my god! No!
What is this?
I clicked it off. It was like bad porn.
Yeah. It's like looking at lady boys.
Yeah. But no.
So I'm literally adding into sources right now, and this whole LLM is going to focus.
There's a PDF. You got 2 PDFs in there. You could add a
all
website.
I'm putting in on this one. Yeah, all I'm going to add in on this one are PDFs because these are actual.
All right, don't do a lot of them. Just do a couple. We ain't got all day.
Okay. So we'll just do these. All right.
Excuse me.
So these are uploading.
Oh,
let's see.
And
then I'll show you how to do this too. So like web.
So what you've done so far is you've been adding on the left-hand side of the screen.
Yeah, so they all go on the left-hand side.
All of your sources come over here. And now, like,
then
once
in the middle,
once they come in, once the sources are uploaded, it will literally synthesize the information therein and just kind of give you a blurb. And it will go ahead and populate questions for you to ask it. And see, so here's the web search. It's shown more sources, right? So I can click any of these to pull in that I want. I don't want to pull in any of those sources, right? But I'm just showing you that you can. Like, it'll pull in websites, and you can literally click right here, and you can vet that source before you actually put it in. It'll take you to where it was going to pull it out. So, but yeah, so I don't want to do any of those sources.
Okay.
So import all those. Yeah. So delete, confirm. So one of those is uploaded. These are very big books. These are books that are designed to teach you how to do a lot of this shit.
Okay. All right. So
Yeah. So I'm putting in actual learning information. But so
okay.
you see this, you've got configure notebook, right?
Right.
You've got default, define your conversational goal, style, or role. Default, it's just going to talk to you like any regular LLM. Learning guide, it's going to talk to you like a tutor, and it's going to get you better at understanding, and will start quizzing you while you're talking about it to understand that you've got the core concepts.
More like how.
And, right. and then custom. So John, you said that, and I forget which model you said, but you were like, hey, this talks to me in my voice now.
Yeah.
So let's say I uploaded every single Boomer Bunker YouTube video that there is, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I wrote a prompt that says, your role is to be John Jamingo. You will
Correct.
speak to me as John Jamingo. You will answer as John Jamingo, you know, all of it. You will share his opinions, his worldview. You can do that. And
Right.
that is replicable. Like you could do that with the Joe Rogan experience. You could do that with your favorite comedian. You could do that with your favorite author. Anybody that you would like to have a conversation with, technically you could replicate something akin to that with this.
Yes. You could get the computer stylings of that person.
And then on the studio, and this is what's really cool. So you have the audio overview. Now, a deep dive is what John has done, I want to say 2 or 3 times now with Boomer Bunker. So, and I know he's played it on the show. And so it's literally like it makes it a podcast. It's a very
Karen
generic
and Chad.
podcast.
It's a man and a woman. I call them Karen and Chad. Karen and Chad come in and they rip my show apart.
But now you can also,
because they're woke liberals.
you can also customize them, right? You can customize what topic of the deep dive or what we wanted to have focus on.
Mm-hmm.
But my favorite part about this one is that when you actually generate it, right, on deep dive only, you can do interactive mode. And interactive mode, when you pull that up, you can actually interrupt them and ask them a question about it in the middle of them speaking, and they will address your question.
Now that's cool.
That is cool. And well, I don't want to have to show it to you on this.
Now I want to go in and fight with Karen and Chad about my last episode.
So let me show you. Let me show you what you can do. So this is what I use for my podcast, right? And there's a lot of really neat stuff you can do. But look, so interactive mode, you've got that little hand button or regular play. So I'll click interactive mode. It's going to pull this up. I hit play.
And as it's playing, so now join.
Hey, motherfuckers, talk about something cool.
Okay, well, that's not how I would do it, but okay. I like that. Oh, I can't wait to. All right, can we end the show now so I can go over and fight with Karen and Chad? Bruce just left the building. We bored him so much he left that he probably had to go pee.
But so that's just one of the things, right? But like, I love the infographics you can put out with it. And I've done for our most recent episode, like I did several different ones for this. Like that's what's so cool. You go through and make so many different cool.
I like this. This images. Would be good for, so for me, I can throw in the topics that we're going to talk about on the Boomer Bunker, have that, and then use that as my YouTube description. What would you call that? My tease.
Yeah, 100%.
That's not bad. I like that.
You can do it like I did it just based off of us, right? And
now,
this is me and Javier as a cool little retroactive poster.
First of all, that thing you can see your actual neck, so that's not right.
It tries. So all right, but like,
listen, take my beard and make it 2 foot longer, please.
Well, it was basing it off of this photo, so yeah.
Oh my God, look at that. Jesus. Okay.
But
I
so
like that.
You can do so. Yeah, I've got one for you guys. I've got a Boomer Bunker one, right? It doesn't have all your videos, but I've got a Boomer Bunker one.
Right.
It's super fun. It's super
I think
fun
I'm gonna have
do.
to start playing with this more. Now, I might see. Here's the thing. I have a lot of chat GPTs on the line. Like, in other words, I'm cheating on I call my ChatGPT Vera. So I'm cheating on Vera with Claude, or I call it Claudette, and then I'm also cheating on both of them with Penelope. And now I might be cheating on all. Oh my God, here we go. Look at this. I don't think I like this at all. South Jersey Delco. It ain't wrong. Primary fuel, frozen custard. Oh my God. Just so you guys know, my favorite custard stand just opened up this weekend. So after I get done here, I'm going to get me a custard.
But this is the kind of cool stuff that you can do, and
Hold
with
on.
Notebook
Put that
LM,
back
you
up there. I just
you
saw
want
something there.
that one back up.
Put that back up there. Hold on. Gimpy 0394. What the hell is Gimpy 0394?
That's your fucking, that's your robot fucking designation, buddy.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I ran several of these. Let's see what this one was.
Yeah, George, I got to be honest with you. I'm going to check out Notebook LM too. George, you got to join our Discord. We got a podcasting section over in the Boomer Bunker Discord. You go to boomerbunker.com/Discord. Join us. We got a thing in there. We can go in there and we can meet Cody and George and other people in there. We do this stuff about podcasting, and we use, hey, look, I found this. This is cool. Look at Duchess. That is unbelievable. So, yeah, I mean, these are the things that we do over there. And, if we find neat stuff, we share it. So everybody, the tide rises and lifts all boats. Isn't that what I don't know.
Yep.
What's the quote?
I mean, you can see, I really like using this tool. And you get to set it. That's what's so cool about it to me. And I use it to help research the angle and themes for the show, right? One of the topics I'm going to be doing next is Dark Souls, right? And it's Dark Souls, but the lens of it is through basically how because the light, right, that creates the Lord, it's just another cycle that ends up bringing about destruction because everything burns. But it's how I put stuff together, right? And this really helps me put stuff the way that I want to put it out, and then I can put it into my voice, right? So it's so cool. It's everything a really neat, it's a really neat tool. And I mean, if you guys want, I'll show you how to make gems.
Well, like I've said, we can go on with this because
why don't we move that over to Discord? We'll move that over to Discord because we're
running
out of time here.
Yeah, what I want to do now is say that, now that everybody knows how to use AI completely and successfully, but no, we've only scratched the surface. We have only scratched the surface of what you can do with AI, because this is just really a primer of what you can do. I want to thank John and Cody for both being here on the show, and at least having a coffee chat over a cup of coffee and some good lighthearted humor as we go through this show. And what do you got there?
What are you drinking now? What is that?
This is Kentucky swamp water. This is an L81 out of my hometown, and it's full of caffeine.
I thought you were drinking beer already.
I know. Since I don't make coffee at the hotel, I decided to have my caffeine this way with you this morning, gentlemen.
Okay.
Yeah. And as we
had
do
these special delivered.
And as we go forward, we're going to have more of these coffee chats, because that's where the weather report is going. They're much better than a Sunday night show, because I can get John Schmingo in here all fresh and fresh out of bed, so he's clear of mind.
I'm showered, shaved, I'm ready to go.
He's showered, shaved, ready to go. And Cody himself is only there, an hour behind him in Texas, and I just like the format of the way that I want this show to go, and I really thank you guys for being here. Go ahead, John, you go first and plug yourself and what we got going on and where we can go to find you, and join us in the Discord chat also. Go ahead.
Well, all my links and everything for my show is over at boomerbunker.com. You can go over there, check it out. If you want to go to our Discord, that's real easy. Go boomerbunker.com/Discord. It's free. We don't charge anything. Come on in. Tell us you're a podcaster. We'll give you a podcaster role, and then you can come in to our podcasting chat. And we have a lot of, again, we do promo swaps for our podcasts in there. We talk about podcasting. I think I love it, to be honest with you. And we got a great group of people in there. so do that. And also, we also live stream our podcast Mondays and Thursdays, 6:30 Eastern time on Rumble, YouTube, and Twitch.
There we go. Cody?
Yeah, I would really appreciate it if you'd listen to Nerd Chronicles Baked Lore. It's fun. Me and Javier have a great time doing it. I use AI for making music in that, for the little narrator cut-in guy that comes in and offers corrections when we're too high to catch them ourselves while recording.
I love that guy.
And obviously for the show art, right? Like, I mean, AI is a great tool that can help you out. And like, I mean, if you're not going to use it, you're going to end up getting left behind. I don't care what stage you're at right now. Like, I mean, it's essentially like, you know, my great grandmother never had a cell phone. She always had a landline, right? Like, and
Well,
I mean,
here's the
I
other
get
thing,
it.
too.
She never needed a cell phone, but
Look,
fewer and
there's a
fewer
learning
calls.
curve. There's a learning curve in this. So in the beginning, it's going to be a little harder. All right,
Yes.
but stick with it because
You're gonna get better.
It's going to get better. It's going to cut down your time. It's going to make if you're a podcaster, it's going to make your life easier. I guess this is who we're talking to do this. I mean, you can do it with a lot of different stuff, but I mean, for right now, just have it go in and help you research some stories and help you and prompt it to help you write your show notes.
Yeah.
Just that alone will help you out. It's amazing.
I mean, I literally upload my episode audio after I've edited it into Notebook LM, and I say, write the episode description for me in our baked voice. And it does, and that's what I put out for the RSS for it to be the episode description, because it's so good at doing what I need it to do. And it saves me 15 fucking minutes of trying to type out something, right?
Yeah, because I'm old. I type with 2 fingers.
It's not for me. It's not that. It's just I will sit there and rewrite something over and over again until the point that I'm like, I don't even know what I'm trying to say anymore. You know, because so it takes that away. You can read it and go, I changed this, or I you know what, I liked it. And if there's any interest, I'm definitely willing to like come back, do more of this type of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pick a single. We can
think
pick like
it
a
would
single topic and just
Right.
do that instead
Like
of being
gems.
all encompassing.
I think
Right,
you
so
should
you
have a
could do, like,
prompting engineer
gems,
one, a gems one.
Bingo.
Yes.
I got to be honest with you. I'm going to go
Notebook.
over. I have a feeling that I'm breaking up with 3 of my chat bots, and I think I'm going over to Google. I think I might have to try Gemini for a little while.
I will teach you anything you want to know about it as a Google AI certified professional.
There you go.
Are you a Google certified professional?
He is. He is.
I got a kick out of it. Every once in a while, I go into social media and someone says, take this course, and for $149, I'll make you a certified podcast producer. And I'm like, what?
Here's why it's a really good deal. So it
it's
says
different
it should
for
take
this.
yeah. So it says it should take you 8 to 10 hours to complete it. There were 7 total modules in the entire course, but it's on Coursera. And Coursera, you give them $49.99 a month, and you just get to take whatever courses you want on there. But again, it came with 3 months free of the Google Pro tier AI, so that's $60. You already came out plus $10 on that investment.
Yeah. Hold on, we got a question for search for IQ. You know, we're just dumb podcasters here, so we'll try to answer your question. Sure, give us a question. I know Bruce has got to go, but I'm running the show now. Sorry, Bruce.
Go ahead.
I've got high IQ. I've got higher IQ than the average Somalian. I'll tell you that.
Let's see if he can bang out a question before we got to go. Well, I'm sorry, Bruce. What's going on? The wife up? Is that why we got to go?
Oh, no. I don't have to go. It's just that, you know, in podcasting, you know, that there's a bell curve and you know, how people watch and, you know, when people drop off and stuff like that. So, you know, I try to keep mine down too.
All right. Search for
those
IQ.
links.
It doesn't look like you're going to make it under the wire. Oh, wait, here we go. Throw that up there, Bruce.
There we go. Let me pull that up there.
This is why I'm not allowed to look at the comments, Bruce. I derail the show.
Go ahead.
For all of these new AIs to choose from, is there a reputable source that explains the difference between all of them or the ones that exist? Because I'm very confused with all the different prices. That is an excellent question that I don't have an answer for. Do you, Cody?
I can answer that. So you would make a better decision about which AI would be right for you. So, but you could literally go into a chatbot, like any of them. You can go into Gemini, you can go into ChatGPT, Grok, and you would literally just say, "Hey, I am curious about which one I want to invest in." Fuck it, ask all three of them and say, "Give me unbiased, give me a table format that breaks down the differences between these and their paid and free tiers," because you don't need to pay for any of this. You don't. You don't have to pay.
Not
for
at
any
first.
of it.
I wouldn't pay for it at first.
Nope.
Yeah.
So
So
just play with it, and then once you feel like you've got a grasp on this, then if you want to be able to use it more often, then I would pay for it.
I'm sure about that. You don't got to pay for it just
No.
yet.
No.
I
might
pay
end up-
for it.
Right. I was paying for it because I was using. Now remember, I started paying for this 6 months ago, and it wasn't doing half of what it can do now.
Right.
For free. The free versions now are better than the paid version that I paid for when I first started this.
Mm-hmm.
So again, if this is something you want to mess with, I say go in and play with it. And again, if it doesn't work, I think you can erase it and start all over again. Like if you get in there and do things, but just remember, it's like any new toy. There's safety things that you got to know about. You just don't grab a chainsaw and run outside and start it up and start running through. You got to know a little bit, and because it can hurt you too. It can, I say it can hurt you if you give it too much information, you don't know what it can do. So you just got to be careful with it.
Here's probably, aside from everything we've discussed about what you shouldn't put in there, how you need to verify what it's telling you, here's probably the best tip that I can give you for it. Right. Oh shit, I'm high. I forgot what I was going to say.
Jesus Christ. It's like a teenager. All right. If you wouldn't let a teenager do it, you shouldn't let this do it.
And don't get high while doing it.
It's 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock in the morning where you are. You're high already. What's wrong with you?
Motherfucker, dude, that's my base. That's my base. Being high is my base.
Oh my God.
Well, if you're old like me, go in there to ChatGPT, go into Gemini, go into any of the easier ones to go into, the free tiered ones, and just fool around with it a little bit. And like I said, verify the answers that it gives you. And I think you're going to find yourself enamored by what it will do for you. And for you olds like me, go in there. If you need a recipe, go in there. Or if you really need a recipe, go to our morning show, Road Rage 101, and Aaron will tell you about a recipe for the National Food Day and stuff like that. And
I remember my tip.
Okay, what was your
tip? What was your tip, Cody?
You need to start new chats, right? And what I mean by that is you don't go into the chat you had with it yesterday talking about how to grow arugula and go, "Hey, what the fuck's the weather going to be today?" Right? I mean, you can do that, but it increases the likelihood of it getting its context confused. So when you move on to something, like when you change topics entirely, start a new fucking chat,
right?
Because it's going to save you a bunch of headaches, right? Because trust me, there are plenty of times I had like 3-4 day long chats ranging in several topics, and I'd be like, "Why the fuck are you talking about this? I didn't ask you about this."
Okay, but see, then the other thing is also remember on the sidebar you have your chats there. So if you want to go back in and talk about food, then go into your arugula one, and then you can continue the conversation. That is true too. But the thing is, like, if I was going to do this right now, I would go into the Gemini one, and I would play with the free version. And then see where it takes me. And then if I need more, then I would pay for it. I would think right now that's where I would go. ChatGPT and Grok is great for checking
just general information.
Twitter.
General
it's like Google.
Yeah.
But
Grok is wild. Like what I mean by that is that the Gemini, if you give Gemini a picture of Ilhan Omar, it'll go, no, that can't be it. That's a public figure. You give Grok a picture of Ilhan Omar, it goes, fuck yeah, dude, what you want? I've got you. So Grok's a little wild.
I told Grok to give me my co-host cartoon avatar in a silky green dress, and then now I have it dancing.
Now you got a
And-
dancing Duchess.
And now it's in the beginning of my podcast dancing. And every time as we're waiting for the show go on, it's dancing. And I watch my co-host and she shakes her head every time. She can't stand it. It's in there. And it's one sexy bitch. I'll tell you that right now.
So
Let's back this up and send it home, guys.
I'll let you know that while you can do a lot of the cool stuff for free, when it comes to like video generation and stuff like that, that does start costing some money. And I know that because I made a 3-minute, 16-second music video for the Boomer Bunker, and that was approaching a C note between everything I had to
Jesus,
pay for.
stop
My
doing that.
God.
Hey, I made it. I'm done. I'm done with it. I don't need to do video shit anymore, man. I fucking made it.
All right, Mike. Guess what? We're leaving, Mike. You can watch the replay.
There we go. Thank you, Cody. Thank you,
Bye, Mike.
John, for being here. And we will be back in next month, and we'll either scratch more on AI or we'll come in with another guest that I can have coffee with and just sit down on a Saturday morning and just shoot the shit. So go to boomerbunker.com. Go to excuse me, Nerd Chronicles. Baked Lore, and listen to Cody's podcast, and it's great. And then you can catch us like I said, you can catch us live here on Saturday mornings once a month. That's what we're doing here at the Weather Report, and you can catch us every morning on X on Road Rage 101. So I will leave you like I leave you guys all the time. You guys have a great day and be good to yourselves. We'll see you later, guys, and thanks for being here. Bye-bye.